All right, bang. Today is Wednesday. It is November 27th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Free Swim Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
And happy Black Wednesday.
Happy Black
Or
Wednesday.
as you call it, Blackout Wednesday, bro.
What's you got? What do you got in that cup? You celebrating early?
He's all ready.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently.
Whiskey neat out of a plastic cup.
Yeah. Tis the
A
season.
nice 11 a.m. whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talked about this before, but I don't know when that switched. It was always just Black Wednesday, and then at some point someone took off with the blackout.
I feel like it was just implied that it was blackout.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, so many people from different states have like different names for it, or it's not even a thing. And I think
They do?
I think I heard someone from, I don't know,
Rico.
East Coast call it like Blackout Wednesday. I was like, oh yeah, like just so you know what I'm talking about. Same thing, Black Wednesday, Blackout Wednesday.
No, Rico
People call it Thanksgiving Eve?
Yeah, Rico calls it
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving Eve. Yeah.
I mean, it is Thanksgiving Eve,
Yeah.
but that's probably what I should call it now as an adult. It's just the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
You think we need more Eves?
How many do we have? We just have Christmas Eve, right?
That's it.
Great question.
Right? Do we need more
Christmas
Eves?
Eve is better than Christmas.
I think technically we have 365 Eves, and we also have New Year's Eve.
Hell no.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
like-
Sorry.
Yeah.
Holy Saturday has always been like one of my favorite drinking days, and that's Easter Eve. I don't know why.
Day
Just
before Easter?
Yeah, just the anticipation of you're right, of any holiday. You should have October 30th should be Halloween.
What do you
Eve.
do on Easter Eve?
You're supposed to mourn on Easter Eve.
Your morning?
Our Lord and Savior was crucified, dude. He hadn't
The
risen
day
from
before.
he
You got to
hadn't-
drink it off.
Bro, log on to Instagram on Saturday. He hasn't risen yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm grieving. That's what you do after a damn funeral. You think I'm going to not do that for some guy I barely know?
Like, you have no idea that guy's popping out of the tomb the next day.
Yeah, I drink after I find out when a human in my life now dies. What's going to stop me come Jesus?
I suppose.
I guess technically 3rd of July is in some ways the 4th of July Eve. It feels.
That whole week.
Depending on when St. Patrick's Day hits, that's
Yeah.
kind of an eve. 'Cause
Yeah.
you never celebrate St. Patty's Day on actual St. Patty's.
February might as well just be St. Patrick's Day Eve as a
Yeah.
whole. Because I feel like there's every weekend in March, you got like, oh, this is practice day. This is actual St. Patrick's Day. This is
True.
Green Sunday, whatever
Yeah.
your bars are calling it.
I do know this, though. It's a long day. The holidays are can be a lot, so you need your ghost to be energized.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Time.
like if you're waking up early, tossing that turkey in,
Mm-hmm.
ghost energy is going to be there for you because, like I said, it's just a long day.
It's a long day. Everyone's driving.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's frustrated driving. You want to make sure your attention is focused. It's right there. It's ghost.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm going to start a new motto for them. Get possessed. Get possessed by the ghost.
Oh, I actually like that.
Yeah,
That's
you're welcome.
really good.
Thank me later.
Damn. Lance, edit that out. You can't
Get
just be giving
possessed.
that away for free.
Yeah.
You don't want to be taking that nap. I mean, granted, the second football game is awful, but still, you want to be watching. You want to be, gambling wise or
Post snap. Get rid of the grogginess right away. Get
Yes.
possessed.
Yeah.
Ghost.
Exactly. Ghost. It's got 200 milligrams of caffeine, 0 sugars, no artificial flavors. It's the best. Fully loaded, feel good energy. They got flavors like Sour Patch Kids, Warhead, Swedish Fish, Welch's, and more. Find Ghost Energy at your local grocery store or convenience store. For the full lineup of flavors, visit drinkghost.com. So yeah, this is unlike any Thanksgiving I've ever had. I'm, running through the motions of classic Thanksgiving, and then the next day, Black Friday, I'm hopping on an international flight to Turkey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got that discount.
Yeah.
Lot of talk about you recently. A lot of talk.
With who?
You're backing out.
Who said that?
It's everyone. He's backing out of the hair transplant and still going to Turkey.
I never said that.
Yeah, but
You're gonna go-
When Eddie says maybe, it's definitely not.
Have you been anywhere across an ocean before? So not Mexico, a country besides Mexico or Canada.
I've been to Toronto. I've been to,
Besides Mexico and
I've been to
Canada.
Mexico. I've been to the Bahamas.
Nice.
Okay. So I said to him, like, damn, like, I'm very jealous. Like, you're going to Turkey. It's one of these, like, great historical cities. There's going to be lots of things to do, lots of tourist things. Like, I've always wanted to go to Istanbul. And Eddie's like, meh.
Yeah.
Don't care. Don't want to go.
Didn't say that.
You did.
I just said I'm not there to sightsee, and like they're planning like all these, like they're like, hey, there's a yacht trip, there's a soccer game,
Dude, you should do the soccer game.
There's a bar crawl.
The turkey soccer games are
Chief, we're getting our heads cut open.
They are, not you.
You're getting a little.
You know you're not. You're not, and you know it.
Why do you say that?
You're not doing it?
Anytime it's up in the air, it's for sure no.
No.
Transfer your ticket to me right now. I'll get my beard done.
No, that's...
And I'll see the sights, and I'll go to the soccer game. I'll be on the yacht in the Mediterranean, and I will love it. And you'll just be in your hotel room, like, scrolling TikTok and watching fucking Family Feud from 25 years ago.
It's too late now. Hey, we can't drink 72 hours before.
Okay.
We can't drink, like, coffee or tea or...
That's why you're not doing it?
Acidic... No, what do you... Yeah, I need my coffee.
Well, I mean, being able to drink on Black Wednesday, does Nicky Smokes know that?
Well, technically, it's not.
He was drinking in the airport this morning. I saw.
Yeah, Nicky Smokes is not. That guy's no stop.
So why would they think your treatments don't hold if you have caffeine in your system?
I don't know what the logic is, but obviously there's something behind it. And then there's obviously the classics like no aspirin and shit like that. But
that's a classic,
like blood thinners.
Well, yeah, if you're getting operated on, you got blood thinners. Like it's.
I haven't had an operation in a long time. I guess I don't remember.
Well,
that.
Yeah, but. I guess most people would know that, but I get what
you're saying. Are you put under for this? You're not, right?
No.
You're
just
not.
a local anesthesia, right?
Yeah, they just drill into your head like Hellraiser.
They probably just give you a little.
Yeah, that's the thing. Honestly, you guys need me to go.
Why?
Because someone needs to be boots on the ground who actually knows White Sox Dave. Like, that's a thing. You guys know. Like, a lot of people think
I think everyone knows him now.
No, I don't think so, though.
There's layers.
There are layers.
There's so many layers of White Sox Dave that I actually think we're going to call him in here, too. But someone needs to see this guy go through this life-changing transformation.
Oh, it's going to be so awful. Yeah. It's going to be so awful.
It is crazy to think about.
He's already, he has told me he's going to be awful.
But I can't think of a world where that guy doesn't wear a hat.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to come back looking like Fabio. I think we saw the pictures of him at dinner the other night, and he looked completely fine. Yeah. Like when he combed it over.
No, he did not.
When he combed it over, at the right angle, I don't think it's going to do that much.
No.
I think he will obviously not be balding, but like Eddie said, he's still going to wear a hat 70% of the time. He's a hat guy.
I mean, I wear hats 70% of the time or more. But those days of White Sox Dave at camp, getting out of water, all those moments where his hair is just completely ludicrous, those are gone.
No, they're not. We've been through this enough, but he said those Banks pictures, those are still going to happen because he's going to keep his hair that long. Again, when we take pictures of him, it's not look at the bald spot. It's look at all this hair on the side of his head.
Dan, the reason his hair's that long is so he can comb it over. So
but
if he doesn't have to comb it over, he doesn't know how to have hair.
He himself said he's not going to.
He doesn't know how to have it.
He himself said he's still going to have that ridiculously long hair.
That's what he thinks because he doesn't know how to have hair. So once he has hair, he's not going to have that. He's not going to have it be that length.
But he said he was in an old mid show.
He doesn't know what it's like to have hair.
I just walked in like Kramer.
So he's not going to have. Your funny hair pictures are going to be gone forever, and he says that they're not.
Remember when we were talking about your one Banks picture, and you were like, "No, my hair's still going to be that long after the transplant."
It won't.
It'll be fuller though.
Yeah, but it was still fuller and just as long. He's going to look just as funny.
The world is his oyster. He can style his hair at that point however he wants. The reason he keeps it so long is so you can have more coverage. You won't need to do that anymore.
Correct.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Do you think you'll wear hats as much when you get this done?
I mean, yeah, because it's not a joke. It's not funny. That's how I've always how I cut my hair now is how I've always cut my hair. And unless I style it, it's gonna look like shit. And I'm not gonna style it before I come to this office.
Correct. So that's why I wear hats because I just don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Mess with it.
Right.
But you.
Danny has a good hairline where he doesn't need to wear a hat because the colic naturally
he's got
does
it's very thick and coarse.
Right.
Where mine gets matted down. I have to do something to it.
Right, and that's how mine is too. Yeah,
correct. But your hair will never look that bad again.
No,
and you won't need to you have strands of hair that I swear are 18 inches long. You will never need.
It's faded from this part line down.
I get it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that you will be able to have a normal haircut where all of your hairs are max 2 inches.
You're trying to say that he'd have a bob if he styled it the right way.
I think
Bob?
I took a
bob?
picture.
Like a woman's bob.
I didn't take one. I took a picture out of the shower yesterday because I usually get it cut once a month.
Right, that's what I
and
love.
I
You have
haven't
4
gotten
good hair days a month.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I
that's
haven't
gone.
gotten it. I haven't gotten it cut in like 2.5 now.
Okay.
Because of the trip. And I got out of the shower yesterday and just brushed it down. It's legit when it's wet, like down my nose.
Right.
Yes, Chief was saying it's a bob.
It's like Ralph
That's
Wiggum.
not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ralph.
I have super fine hair like that.
Right.
You got the Victoria
which
Posh Beckham
I do as
haircut.
well. But now that you will have full coverage, you won't have to keep your hair so long to get all that coverage to have it down your nose or
Yes,
whatever. You'll just have good hair.
That's the hope, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
And so Donnie just took that picture of me on the internet, and I knew it was going to look disgustingly atrocious because I have the winter hat on right now, and that's the recipe to make your hair look awful. However,
that won't go away. That's true of anyone.
well, yeah.
Except for maybe you. You could
You got.
I mean,
yeah,
anyone looks worse with the
mat
hat
it
hair.
down. Yeah.
But like people are like, oh my god, like this is beyond repair. I'm like I would say 3 or 4 out of 10 bald right now.
Sure.
Like you should see. I don't want to like throw their videos out there, but they'll be seen anyways. There's guys that are coming with us, just random stoolies that are legit George Costanza bald.
Right.
Yeah.
Like not an
Right.
ounce
That's not you.
No, that's not me. And they're like, oh, you're beyond repair. I think my hair should, in theory, I don't want to jinx anything in case they fuck up the procedure.
No, it's got to be
or something.
perfect. It's got to be perfect.
It should look actually good.
It should.
It should.
How
yeah.
many grafts do they say you're getting?
3,500.
See, this is what I don't understand.
What's that mean?
So a graph? Think of a graph as a strand of hair.
One strand of hair.
Yes. So he's getting 3,500 new pieces of hair from the back. Plopped on
So
the top.
that's a very rough estimate.
What I don't understand is they have me down for 3,000. That can't be the case.
No, that won't be the case. That's
There's
a
no
very
way.
rough estimate based on a Zoom
A Zoom call.
conference
Yeah.
with them.
So like you have your primarily for you it's your crown head, but like if
Correct.
they see a couple blotches here and there in the front, will they just fill it in anyway?
Yeah, they're gonna
that's
move you.
that's what they're gonna do.
They're gonna
maybe
move you
maybe
up.
a little blotchy.
What do you mean?
Your forehead line. They're gonna move that up a little bit.
Let's see your forehead again.
It's just a
Is
little
that
bit. on
has
the-
that
they said-
receded at all?
Not really.
Yeah.
A little bit. They said it's completely optional, and I was like, well, if I'm getting it done, I might.
You might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plop some on the corners, you know.
It'd be funny if they like just went nuts and brought it down, your hairline down to
Looking
here
like-
like your Teen Wolf or something.
See, I'm a little worried about becoming Silvio Dante.
Yeah.
You know, like that's you
It
know,
would be
For sure. No, I get that.
It
Steve
would.
Van Zandt, like an all-time toupee.
Yeah. It would be
Sopranos.
something else if yours got botched and his came back perfect.
Oh yeah.
That would like upset the entire universe.
It's like Freaky Friday. It should
Yeah.
be like that.
Yeah, that would be, but then that would also give me hopes of like other aspects. Like maybe that's like the setting of the universe that needs to happen for like the Bears.
And then I just stay here.
Yeah.
It's like the Seinfeld where you've been down,
Yeah.
he's been up. Now Dave's is up and you're down and I just stay right in the middle.
Yeah.
Lose 20.
What are
find
you
one.
What are you most nervous about?
Honestly, I would be zero nervous if it weren't. The flight is. Yesterday afternoon was the first time I'm like, holy shit, I'm flying to Turkey Friday. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
but at least you've flown to Germany. I've
Yeah.
never been on a flight longer than. I think my longest flight was Tucson to New Jersey.
Yeah.
which
It's
is like 4 hours or something.
No, I think
4.5.
more probably.
that's
Yeah.
longer than like or other than that. Chicago
My
or
longest
LA.
until Germany, so I flew from the Dominican to Panama City, Panama, to Chicago. So I had to go like south to go north. But then I flew direct or not direct. I had a layover at Heathrow. I flew from Frankfurt, Germany, and that was 10 hours without the layover. So coming back's gonna be fucking miserable. It's gonna
It'll
be
be
awful.
fine.
No, you're right. I'm obviously worried about the flight. I've never been on an airplane for 10 hours. That sucks.
On the way out there, it'll be fine. At
Why?
least
'Cause you-
because we're excited.
Yeah,
We have everything to look forward to. The way back from Germany, it was the worst scaries aside from Putin Bay.
And our fucking head's gonna be not
Yeah,
in a
that's
position
the
where you
thing.
could like rest it on the fucking window.
Yeah. You're gonna
That's-
need a neck pillow.
That's honestly what I'm concerned about
Yeah.
is sleeping.
Are they giving you painkillers after that? You get painkillers or
You don't feel it, I guess.
no?
Yeah, I guess.
I was gonna say.
I guess
knock out on the plane.
the shots of like I know it's not Novocaine, but the shots of numbing. I guess that like is not pleasant.
Yeah,
And that hurts. But like as far as like the poking, like they're just like
you sit and watch Netflix like all drugged up.
It's like a girl getting a perm at a
Pretty
salon.
much, yeah. But as far as I'm not nervous. I'm nervous about post procedure, like that week or two.
Yeah,
after.
like fucking it up. Yeah, because I'm trying to think of what I've had done. Oh, like I had a LASIK, and one of the worst parts of LASIK is you can't touch your eyes for a month. That's really
you just
hard.
do
Like
that
you can't
without
do that. You can't rub your eye.
Touch them at all.
Have the same eyelash in there for a month.
Yeah, like I don't. You guys been around me a lot. I rub my eyes a lot.
I do too.
I think everybody probably does.
Really?
Like, I don't
it's
think
just
I
like,
do, but I feel like I must.
When I take my contacts off at the end of the day, rubbing your eyes is like equivalent to jerking off, dude. It feels so good.
Yeah.
Or like you ever have like athlete's foot and you just like scratch the shit out of it.
Oh, dude.
Just like that. I'm just like,
Hammer.
I know this is so bad for me.
I didn't even know you had contacts.
I didn't.
Oh
either.
yeah, brutal.
So what did
Hammer
you
and
see
a
the
whammy,
thing where Rico left him in for a month and a half?
I swear to God, my mom used to do that. I feel like she would never ever take him out.
So that's insane because those are dailies. Mine are like you leave them in 2 weeks, and I had like pretty bad eye problems the past year, and I went to the eye doctor recently, and they do it so like you have to do your annual check, and they'll hold new contacts till then, so you gotta go. And so like half the time they know like, oh, you're in need for contacts. They're like, how long have you been wearing these? And it was like 3-4 days past 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh my God, like, are you all right? I was like, yeah, why? They're like, I had mine in for an extra day and like they irritate the shit out of me. I was like, oh, maybe that's why my eyes are so bad because I leave them in for 2 days thinking it's fine. For Rico to leave dailies in for a month and a half, I'd rather have no contacts.
Maybe that's why he's
That's the one thing genetically I've gotten very, very lucky with is my eyesight.
irritable.
Dailies. Why is he doing that? Why is he leaving in dailies? That's hell.
He's stressed out. The kitchen's a disaster.
Yeah, but why didn't you just get new contacts?
Do you used to wear contacts?
No, I couldn't get them in. That's why I got LASIK.
Yeah,
I would be. I don't think I would be able to do it.
I
hate
get
touching
used to it.
I physically could not do it.
I don't think I would want to be able to do that.
I remember when
I'd rather have glasses.
I was really young, like really, really young. I would try to put in my mom's and I couldn't do it, just to like see what they felt like.
Yeah,
Physically could not do it.
my mom had one contact, like on one eye.
Astigmatism.
I don't know what it's for, but it's like she has a contact monocle. It's very odd.
I think you can have one eye that's worse than the other, and it's called
Sure, yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have that.
So yeah, I don't like. Yeah, you're right. I guess there's the only thing I'm worried about is not is fucking with it once it's done.
But it's like it's not like if you touch it, you're bald. You know, like
Yeah,
don't
I know.
don't wear hats. Like don't give noogies. Like just be normal.
Yeah, I think aside from like you touching yourself, I would be in hell mentally for like the week or two, being like, is this gonna go south? Like, is it progressing well, or did something?
Yeah,
you can't find out till like.
What about shampooing and stuff or
You're
showering?
supposed to go like baby shampoo and like very light, like no water.
You can no water, so just body showers,
or like light water, but like don't hold it under a faucet or anything. Like very gently.
So it is very.
Here's a question: do you think this is a weird cosmetic surgery?
No. I think on the spectrum of weird cosmetic surgeries, it's probably the least weird.
Because Danny,
I would agree. Like this would feel more necessary than like getting my fucking cheeks lifted or something.
Exactly. Like when people say, like that's what I wonder about.
I don't even really think of it as cosmetic surgery.
I agree.
It definitely is.
I mean, it is, but I don't like. I think
it's not even a surgery technically.
Right. I wonder people out there, like if they see someone got this done, like, oh, that guy got.
I think it's less weird than when girls get Botox.
Yeah,
dude, I
sort of agree.
Yeah.
Well, Botox has become so normal now, but still, like
23-year-old girls will get preventative Botox, which I think is probably just a scam.
bad.
Like everyone makes fun of Tom Brady because
How
got so much
face
work
is
done.
plastic.
Yeah, like I don't know if the hair matters for me when it comes to that. I think it's more so his face. Like I think once you start touching your face outside of Botox,
he was like
Danny said,
he was chiseling down his like jaw structure and stuff. That's fucking
He was on like a Michael Jackson track.
Yeah,
kind of a little bit. Yeah,
like Danny said, Botox gotten so normalized, but so anything besides
Botox
to
creeps
the
me
face,
out.
Me too.
And I guess like
they can't like wiggle their fucking
no
face
emotions.
I guess I could meet you halfway with a nose job if you're very
Gross,
unhappy with it, you know.
Yeah,
but like kind of anything other than that, I don't like.
I feel like nose job was like the first plastic surgeries. Like those and tits were the only two things that people got for like my childhood.
Yeah, it's like if your nose is fine and you're just making it slightly smaller, then I don't know what we're doing, but hair, I would almost compare the hair as like it's necessary. The nose isn't.
Because I guess
I would bet the nose actually is necessary.
Well, you know what I mean. Not like if you break your nose. If you're just like, I'm not pretty enough. I need like a
Because I guess I wouldn't
a
want
centimeter off my nose.
a connotation as like a plastic surgery guy. I feel like that's tough.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I almost don't even look at it.
That's why
transplant is like cosmetic plastic surgery.
Like I
agree.
Even though there are nerves involved with this whole week-long thing we're doing, I'm almost glad that we're making a joke of it to an extent. I'm not making the procedure and the aftercare and all that a joke because I am going to take that serious. But like the whole video will be somewhat of a joke. It'll be in form of comedy. I'm glad that because I don't want to be known. Like I'd almost if I just like snuck a hair restoration at like one of the competitors.
Yeah. Then it's like it's different from like it was content,
right?
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, that is a big aspect for me. Like. I would not have paid for this.
I wouldn't have paid for it.
I would never
either.
have flown from Turkey.
I would have.
What? Because you were trying.
It was a cost thing for me.
Right. So let's say that, you got the mincy bet and then you hit it and you had $50,000 in the bank and this wasn't an option. Would you still pursue this or no?
I think you probably do. Which is fine.
Not for what they wanted to. Well, maybe.
I'm saying like you backed into $50,000 somehow.
No, it wouldn't go to hair. No,
Really?
no.
Okay.
It would go to.
See, mine would.
I would probably put like 80% of that into my mortgage, and then whatever else into fun money.
Maybe like a chew toy for Ace.
It's probably something I don't know, but no,
But I could unequivocally say mine would not.
Yeah,
really.
I would have to be like completely debt free, and it would be like a complete. Like luxury that I was doing it.
Yeah.
They wanted to charge me. Well, full price would have been $35, and they wanted to give me half off, and I wouldn't have done it. Like that's maybe if I hit the $50,000 for the 17.5, then I would consider it.
If you were balding,
would I do this trip?
Yeah. Say you were like I don't know. Say this was like 6 years ago, so you're only like 52. Would you still do it?
I
think
probably. I used to buzz my head, and then like I would buzz it in August and grow it until March or April, and then buzz it again. Last time I was home, I saw a picture of me from that time. I looked terrible, and that was like when I was in shape. But like me, like I just look gross. So I think
with the buzzed head.
Yeah.
How old?
I did it when I was like 17, 18, 19, 20.
Sneaky. I did it. Yeah, I would buzz my own. I did it a few times in college just because didn't have $10 to go to whatever and just buzz it on my own. I actually look forward to being able to do that without the fear of it never growing back down.
Sneaky, I'm kind of excited to see you bald. Like that's.
I think you could actually pull off bald.
Exactly. That's what everyone said.
Like a Dana White bald.
Yes.
Probably because I do have a good beard.
Exactly.
And I got a round head. I think like pumpkin head like plays the bald guy thing.
Correct.
If you have a more narrow nose.
Right, that's much. Where mine is.
But I think you think we're getting buzzed. I'm pretty sure we're not. They're gonna buzz the back a little bit, but it'll look like we got a haircut.
No, I think you're gonna have to get buzzed.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think you will have to get buzzed. Like so you're gonna
I'm going off of
could be wrong, but
Instagram videos of turkey hair transplant searches, but I think they only buzz the back, and I buzz the back anyways when I get haircuts.
At that point, wouldn't you just want it all bald? You look crazy. You look like you're halfway through a haircut. You know? Like the barber goes to the back.
I mean, I don't know.
But then like it'll blend faster. You know, like you're not gonna be sitting there in February and it's like, all right, you have like a 1 haircut or like a 2. You know, I think like of course I'm worried about looking like the fucking guy from Home Alone 3 who got smoked by a lawnmower, but like that's just gonna be.
Don't bring up that movie.
Home Alone 3?
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Oh, my God, Ed. It's not that bad. It is that bad.
It's not that
It's
bad.
that bad.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
It's that bad.
I think you guys are underselling. Like you're saying if you got some winnings, you wouldn't put it towards hair?
Not me.
Not at $35,000. I'm talking like if I won $50,000 in my exact financial position right now, $50,000, no. Fuck no.
$35,000, is that how much it would
that's what
cost?
That's what
$35,000
for
Jesus
yes.
Christ. Yeah, it's a lot. I thought it was like 15 maybe. I know that's still a lot, but hair is pretty important. I would put some of it, like if I was balding, I think I would definitely do it.
I'm not super unhappy with my hair. I'm actually happy at 34 with where I'm at.
You absolutely should.
I truly am.
Yeah.
It's just a combination of free, being able to go to fucking Turkey for the first time.
Don't care about.
Yeah, that's I don't know if stolen valor is, but that's like a trip. A lot of people, like especially history nerds, love
that's
to
what
take, and you're not.
That's what I said to him yesterday. He goes, I don't care. He's gonna sit in his hotel room and watch Family Matters or something.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
He doesn't give a shit.
Did he tell you he might get cold feet?
Yeah, we were talking about it. We got in.
Dave, you know me. I'm a big guy where it's like I like to see it. Am I not?
You very much are.
Let's plan this 30-hour trip to the Oakland Coliseum. Whatever. So I'm happy to check it out. Will I be like in the weeds asking questions if we go on like a tour? Probably not.
But will you get the hair transplant?
That's what we're talking about.
Well, you said about visiting.
I think it's all of it.
It's
Yeah, I was like offended that
when I watched,
I'm like, this is the crossroads of the
civilization.
World.
It's literally where people started. That's like cool to me.
And you have like,
and I understand that like different strokes for different folks.
Biggest cities in the world, they have like these immaculate temples and churches and castles, and it's like unbelievable. It's like a fortified city.
People crossed over.
Chicago's like what?
That's where it is. It's like the narrow strait. It connects Asia and Europe. It's like one of the most important cities in the history of the world.
I've been to the St. Louis Arch.
See? Like that's what I'm saying. Like Chicago's what, 150 years old?
That's where we crossed over
or whatever,
something like that. Yeah, I think it might have just turned 150.
Yeah. It's like 100. This city, I mean, obviously it hasn't been Istanbul, but there's been civilization
Constantinople,
there for thousands. Constantinople to what was the other one? It was Byzantine
Empire was
Byzantinople or whatever.
I'll tell you what I'm more concerned about. Okay, and this is on a serious note. But before I tell you, I'm going to tell you about ChevyDriveChicago.com. It's already the holiday season. Your local Chevy dealer has everything you want for your wish list. A new SUV or an Equinox EV, Chevy has the gift you want and need. Find your local Chevy dealer at ChevyDriveChicago.com today. If you are not shopping for a new car and just want to make sure your car is safe and weather ready for the season, your local Chevy dealer service center is the place to go. Honestly, just go on that Chevy site. Check out that Silverado, that Equinox EV. Like I said, EV, regardless if you want to go that route or not, you should at least check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out. Check it all out.
This is the place to start.
It is. So always find your local Chevy dealer at ChevyDriveChicago.com, the official truck partner of the Chicago Bears. So, did I tell you guys about this? Dave knows, but you too. Do you guys know about this health scan thing?
No.
I only know that you might do it.
Yeah.
I want all the info you got on it because I'm considering it.
All right. You haven't heard about this?
No. Is it part of this trip?
No. So it's another thing. It's like a medical tourism thing that people go to Turkey for, like hair and all that shit.
Tits.
Like Turkey's like BBL. The spot. Everything's just cheaper there. Like Dave said, the $30,000 procedure here is going to cost $5,000 for the hair there. So essentially, they will give you like a full body scan, like tell you everything, like you are pre-conditioned for like this cancer, whatever. We noticed this in your blood. We noticed, like, they'll go through the fucking gamut of your whole body. Here it would cost thousands, like $4,000. And
they're doing Black Friday sales out there.
That should be like a standard, but yeah.
And they probably wouldn't even schedule you because here you have to be, they have to catch something to move you along the next rung. There it's like they'll just do it, and it's like $800.
I'm doing that.
But the thing is, are you? Is it a thing? Do you want to know?
Ignorance is bliss.
So
a lot of people are telling me you don't want to know. A lot of people are freaking me out more.
Ed, I don't think they're going to tell you, hey, you're about to drop dead in 10 years of cancer.
They might. They very well could.
I don't know, but it was last December. It was before Christmas last year. I didn't pay $4,000 for it, so it wasn't as intense as that, but it was pretty expensive. And I got like all my blood work done. I got all sorts of testing done, your hormone levels, all that shit.
Low T?
No, my T was pretty good, surprisingly. Yeah. It's
got to be something else then.
I was as stunned as you were. Okay? But but I was like, I have to get all this. I want my cholesterol. I want all that shit. And then you can kind of make some choices once you know.
So what's the extent? Will they be like, you're pretty likely to get cancer within the next 10 years?
It could be anything. It'd be like, because think about it. Have you had a scan on your stomach?
A what?
Like, has anyone here had like a scan on their stomach? Like, you don't know what's going on.
I haven't been to the doctor. I think the last time I went was Christmas Eve when I was like 27. I had unbelievably bad strep throat. I drove myself to the ER on Christmas Day at like 4 a.m.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think if they're like, if you currently have something you want to know, but if they're like, 6 years down the line, you might get this. Like, if they're going to tell me that I might get something and there's nothing that I could do to stop or prevent it, then I don't want to.
I think that's the idea.
That's the point, right?
Okay. No, I think that there's always some preventative measures that you can take.
Yeah, but it's like, are we all? I'm not doing healthy shit right now. Am I gonna? Are you really gonna find results? To be like, you know what? I'm turning my life around, or is it just gonna be in the back of your head? Like,
I mean, if they're like, I don't know, you never. It depends how serious it is.
I would think that if any one of us were presented with information like that, that we would make insane life changes.
But it's like we do carcinogens, like knowing that they cause cancer already. Like, are you gonna quit dip?
No,
insane life change.
Ed yelled at me the other day.
That would be an insane life.
Ed yelled at me the other day because I have this thing where I just say everything's poison now because I've read some literature, believe it or not, recently, and I swear to God, to just be average healthy takes zero work at all. And I've dropped another 10 pounds this summer by doing the exact same that I've been doing the last couple of years.
No, I believe it. Like, I'll exercise, but then I'll also drink more than I should.
Yeah, but you don't know what's swirling down there genetically that doesn't have.
You could have certain predispositions to certain things. But if they say like, hey, you have a predisposition to this type of cancer, let's say, and you know that certain cancers are triggered by certain chemicals, elements, dietary choices, then wouldn't you try, knowing that you're predisposed with your genes to get it, wouldn't you try to remove some of those things from your diet so you don't?
Totally.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Idea,
yeah. Right. So then what's the debate, I guess? That's all anybody's saying.
I guess people are worried about some catastrophic news hitting you and then like it's on your mind for however long.
If you can change it for sure, but if it was like inevitable, it's like, well, I don't want to know that.
I always think more information is better with anything.
I don't disagree.
I think there are instances where ignorance can be bliss.
I can't think of one. Because people are like, oh, like, would you, let's say that you were in a long-term relationship and you had no idea, you were very happy in that relationship, but your wife or girlfriend was cheating on you. Would you want to be married for 50 years
and
find out that right? So but like ignorance is bliss. You don't know it, and you're happy. But
I'm talking more health.
No, but
where
for
it's
sure,
like there's nothing you can do. But
what I can't think of an example like that.
And Danny, I joke about your previous diagnosis, but this is a serious question. Was there anything you could do that you could have done differently, or was that just like, hey, you woke up one morning and you had cancer?
They said, nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure maybe, but they were like, people just like get this.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, you were what, 16?
Yeah.
But you don't know about like 16? Environmental things that could have caused it. So you might have had some predispositions. You
Absolutely.
might have had some things that triggered it.
But then, at that point, it's like, what am I don't even know what to avoid.
Correct. Which I think is a big problem in general.
Oh, and I think that we're actually doing a good job, hopefully starting down a path where that changes.
Yeah, maybe.
This is more so, like, I think the biggest example is, I think pancreatic cancer is the most deadly cancer, or one of the most deadly cancer.
That sentence.
And part of the reason why, to my knowledge, is because you can't really scan for it until it's too late. Or you can scan for it, but you don't find out until it's too late. But like a regular scan, like people aren't going in for them.
Yeah, but do you know what causes pancreatic cancer?
I don't.
So
do you?
No. But I'm sure we could probably try to find out right now.
Yeah.
Ask Grok.
I've also had quite.
Grok's actually a good little tool. I hate to admit that. Or
why would you hate to admit that?
Because I think that it gives us an excuse to be dumber.
I'm always looking for an excuse.
I know. We all are, but I think being challenged a little bit is important.
Genetics, environmental, and lifestyle factors. So smoking, obesity, diet, chronic pancreatitis, medical conditions.
That's what I mean. They'll be like,
no, but like
you eat a lot of red meat. And it's like, I guess.
But there's different. I don't want to go down this route right now.
I know, but like to be monitoring it that heavily, be like, is this the right kind of red meat?
I don't think it's that hard to do.
For pancreatic cancer, when they narrow it down to environment.
But so the thing that popped in my head for pancreatic cancer specifically was diabetes, because that's where all your insulin comes from. So if you have a malfunctioning pancreas and you have diabetes, that's a dietary condition. Is diabetes is 100% just from your diet. So if you have, and it lists it here as a condition that can cause it, then it's a dietary thing. So if you are eating healthy and clean and you're not having like a shit ton of ice cream and sugar and all this kind of stuff that would have these insulin spikes and overwork your pancreas, then you're probably going to be able to you're more likely to avoid pancreatic cancer. So that's like another likely.
Yeah.
Likely. Because it's not like an exact science, but like if it's your pancreas is your insulin and you have an overworked.
I mean, imagine that.
What?
It's all fun and games going over there for an elective hair procedure. And I get this done. I was like, yeah,
could save your life though.
Yeah.
I guess, but once you get that, you're fucked.
No. Well, for pancreatic cancer, you mean? You're like, people under 50 don't typically get pancreatic cancer.
That. Yeah, but that's what
I think you're worrying a little too much.
Well, I'm saying
that's what I mean. You're sometimes worried, and then you want to know what's going to be going on in your body the next decade. I think you might drive yourself crazy. That's
why I ask. Like that's the
you're going to be next thing you know, you're going to be asking the servers or like any pesticides.
It's a fair question.
I think that is a fair question. Yeah. It absolutely is a fair question.
Yeah. But it's like a 20-year-old who has no idea.
You're talking to Callie and Casey Means, his brothers here. That's
well, what's wrong with that? Why do you dismiss that?
Nothing is wrong with it, but I'm just saying if you're gonna call it, you got to be 100% of the way. Like you can't just be like, oh, this, and that.
I know that, but then having it in my mouth right now,
that's what I'm saying.
No, here's the fucking difference, dude. If they want to start putting all these warning labels on all these foods that have,
they have that in Switzerland,
right? So
big box of tricks, warning: this is U.S. food, do not consume.
Yeah. Yeah. So if they want to treat it that way and people have an education about it and they want to continue to make those choices, then they are free adults. That's their decision.
Free will, absolutely.
Don't do false advertising where you're like, hey, we know red dye 40 causes this, and we know certain heavy metals that exist in other things. Like when they put fluoride in water, they knew that it causes.
They didn't at the time.
But for children, they know it now. They know it now, yeah. They haven't taken a lot of steps to get it out of the water, but that causes lower IQ.
3 to 5 points, and that's
huge. That's proven. So, like, you can say, oh, Callie and Casey Means. Yeah.
I don't understand how people don't take this more serious.
Like, people should be furious.
When I discovered those two, I will call them heroes right now, because I truly think that the path we are on, that they are doing heroic acts right now. I truly think that it's that people should be taking them like every bit as serious as like every ounce of political.
Well, and that was the thing where it was like the biggest merger and acquisitions in U.S. history was the tobacco companies in the 70s after they were like killed by the government effectively. They bought up all the food companies and took the scientists who were making
Kraft, Post.
They put all that. They put those scientists like, let's make this as calorie deficient as possible, but as tasty and delicious as possible. So people just overeat, and that's why it's
an actual addiction.
We have the sickest population ever. So maybe we should do something differently.
Listen, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. We've talked about the pyramid many times. I get it. Mm-hmm. We've done many episodes. My point is you guys can say it, but also I feel like you don't really act on it.
I absolutely act on it.
Yeah.
I don't consume anything with high fructose corn syrup. It's an absolute non-starter.
Any restaurant you go to is probably doing it.
They're absolutely not. High fructose corn syrup.
Well, not high fructose, but stuff that they say in that podcast, they are definitely doing it.
It's usually low. Like, are you talking about what restaurants are you talking about?
I'll give you an example. So I did that whole medical scan, and I had some levels of certain things that were high. And I'm like, all right, so how do I combat that? And they're like, well, like, what do you eat? And I eat pretty basic. I eat a lot of meat, and I was cooking in a cast iron and in olive oil. That was a big part of the problem. So I switched to just grilling everything on the smoker. I went back in June or July after cooking, changing the way that I cooked, and my levels dropped. So my body still looks largely the same because I have a sedentary lifestyle, which I need to change. But my levels are improving because I took actions based on information.
I get it. My point is, okay, that taco place you get here.
Yeah.
You're confident that there's nothing bad in there.
No, there's definitely things that are bad in there.
Okay.
There are definitely
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, but there's definitely things that are bad in there, but it's not the same as eating highly processed food. It's still better for you than eating highly processed food.
Getting a gigantic steak with a mountain of butter on it that's been cooked
totally is better than a box of Sour Patch Kids.
Yes.
I get that. I understand.
Better than saltines.
But I understand. But my point is, even people with education will still eat those ways, but then complain. Like, look at RFK. He was just eating the fucking Big Mac or whatever on the plane.
He sold his soul for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
now he's head of HHS, and he even said that RFK took a picture, but he was also like,
well, he took a picture. It's everything he's against. How are you going to do that? Come on.
I agree with you there.
Come on. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people, we know this.
So hold on a second. Hold on a second. If he takes a picture with Trump on an airplane with McDonald's, right? And let's say he doesn't even eat it, but then he goes in and he's head of HHS, and he's like, all right, you're no longer allowed to add these chemicals that allow you to cook your fries in oil longer that makes it more poisonous. You have to use beef tallow, and everybody's healthier because of it. Then what's the problem?
How is that? Like,
you're talking a photo op versus policy, and like if he acts on these policies, then who cares about a photo on a plane in November of 2024 if he makes the whole country healthier for the next 100 years?
I mean,
we'll have to see how he we'll see how he does.
I mean, I understand your point, but I also think you're discrediting it a little bit, right? Like, I think I think it deserves to be discredited. It's one fucking photo op. The guy's ripped. He leads a very healthy lifestyle. I bet he does.
Right.
But
so Trump is a fat lard ass who loves McDonald's, so they took the picture on there. But I don't think that him taking that picture doesn't mean he can't enact positive change in that role that Trump has appointed him to make that change.
And obviously, like,
sure, but if your point is about education, people seeing that's not good. You know,
I would bet he agrees with that, but it's like,
right.
But we just had this discussion, okay, in real time, and I think the whole world, the people that follow, are not like, oh, McDonald's is okay because RFK took a picture of it. Like, no. That's not what he's saying. And if you cook it the right way and you don't have all these things, it's like the same petroleum-based chemical that goes into yoga mats, that goes into your bread, that is illegal in every other modern country. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a burger as long as the ingredients are good.
And I don't disagree with you.
Right.
All these other countries have it too. They just do it different ways. So
correct.
That could be enacted here, and I think it should be.
Right.
I'm just saying, I don't like. Not that I don't like it. It's just I think some people talk out of both sides of their mouth when it comes to this.
My position is people should be allowed to do and eat what they want. They should not be told something is healthy when it is not. So if you are
definitely
right, so and that's the thing where it's like a calorie is a calorie. Well, that's not really
true at all.
It's not true. So if you have 2,000 calories a day and all you eat is 7 Snickers bars, you're going to be less healthy than a person that eats
spinach, chicken breasts,
right,
and
that kind of stuff. So that's all I'm saying. If you want to eat all that stuff and you're fine with the consequences and it's on the label and everybody knows what they're doing, like he is with his grizzly wintergreen, fucking fine. But don't tell people that it's good for you when it's not. All for Wall Street, and that's just for Wall Street.
It's Ed. I'm telling you, I won't say I read the book because I listened to the book. If you listen to this book, Cali Means book, Good Energy, your entire life would change. I really think so.
I'm not disagreeing with what they're saying or what you guys are saying. All I'm saying is you can't just sit there and say everything's poison when you still consume poison.
You're saying it's one thing to know it, it's harder to follow it.
Exactly.
That poison, which is exactly what it's poison, including, I'm not going to say it, but like different soft drinks. Complete poison, like that stuff I will not touch.
Yeah, I get it.
It is absolute no-go under any circumstance. But I recognize when I have a cheat meal and I have a 16-inch pizza to myself when I'm hungover on a Saturday, that's not good for me.
And the poison is always in the dose. So it's like if you have a cheat meal every once in a while, not great. Okay, I ate those tacos every once in a while. Not ideal. I'm hungry. I need something. I'm here at the office. My options are somewhat limited. I could prepare better, sure. But I'm not eating garbage 24 hours a day. Now, I have other things I need to fix, like working out and all that kind of stuff. But like, I don't eat bad. I don't eat bad food. So, but if you eat it every day for 30 years versus I'm going to eat it once a week for 30 years, the person who does it once a week is going to be a lot better off because the poison is in the dose. And if it's a little bit every single day, then you're going to end up in a bad spot.
How long has civilization been around for, Chief?
Danny.
Depends. Well, we'll say roughly 10,000 years.
Call it 10,000 years. That's a nice even number. For 10,000 years, we were putting nothing but like real life animals and different seeds and leaves into our body. And then all of a sudden in the last 30, 40 years, we completely switched, and all that evolution, it didn't have time to catch up. We put all this garbage in our bodies now after 10,000 years of putting all this like natural good stuff in our bodies, and our bodies as Americans especially are just like, what the fuck is this? And we're all getting sick as fuck because of it. Like I said, if you read that book, your eyes would be opened. And I'm not just talking about like your diet and our diet as Americans, like the corruption that goes on just in the health. That's what's most offensive about it to me.
You got some reading to do on the plane.
I couldn't, but I think a lot of people are educated on this. Besides,
I think you're wrong.
They're not completely.
No, I think a lot of people.
No,
you're wrong.
Ed, I had no idea about all like how
the extent of it. No,
but
a lot of people have
eat healthy and you'll live a healthier life. Sure, but if you hear it laid out into how bad it actually is, that will enact a lot of change in people.
People don't know the level and the scale of the corruption that's involved. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. But they don't know that, like you just said about the tobacco thing. They pivoted to that.
Yeah,
sure. But I think by and large, people, or at least now, most people are starting to become aware of it. That's it.
Much more than even 5 years ago.
Much more than even a year ago, I'd say, because of everything RFK is doing.
Yeah, I would say that his candidacy and that being his big platform, it's same thing as on a grander scale. But like when Andrew Yang ran, what year did he run? 20?
16
or 20 as
16.
Okay. Well, when he ran and he was like, he became a single issue candidate, and he brought the discussion of universal basic income into the general discussion.
Everyone gets like $1,000 a month,
right?
Or whatever.
Which I think is a preposterous idea, but it was an idea that I had never really thought of or heard about before he came on the scene and started, because he was like, AI, there's not going to be these jobs, and people are going to, whatever. I think RFK did the same thing, but for health and on a much larger scale, because he was a much more effective candidate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would argue that I think it was happening before him, but
I mean, Michelle Obama didn't have the
think like Dave.
Michelle Obama said pizza was a vegetable.
Right,
Dave,
I know. She had her health campaign too, though.
But it was bullshit.
It was, of course, it was bullshit. But other people have ran on. Like the campaign of making us healthy.
You bring up
this one's completely different.
You bring up you bring up the thing about pop, like that's been happening for a while. Like people have been like I think
kind of,
but that's why. And listen, and I know this is going to spark a whole nother debate, but that's why like all these zeros are out now, and people are moving to that, like the zero sugar and I understand what you're about to say.
What am I about to say?
That those aren't better, and they have this and they have that. I get it, but I'm telling you, as far as the basic ingredient. Those
calorie. Sure.
Yes, those started to see a hit. The big companies were starting to see a hit. People were not drinking them as much.
Why did people?
They moved it
but
over
I think that was more about people were like, I'm drinking Diet Coke. Why am I gaining so much weight? Okay, and people wanted. It was like more of an aesthetic. Like I don't want to be fat. It's a difference between I don't want to be fat versus I don't want to be healthy. And so that's when they started doing the 0 calorie thing, but they replace it with all these other things. So when you have a Diet Coke.
I'm speaking about the regular.
I understand. So, but like it doesn't. When you have a Diet Coke, you're more likely to have something sweet later in the day because your body you have the mouth sweetness, and then it goes in your body and like, hey, where's all the sugar? So your body's already revved up for it. So then you go and have something else sweet, and then defeat
I get
the
it.
process.
And I said, I understand that there are issues with that too, but I'm saying the 42 grams in a can was definitely started to go downward for sure.
I like how we're having this discussion before the biggest
Thanksgiving.
eating day of the year.
But that doesn't need.
I don't know
like
how
you
this
could
happened.
put 40,000
tell
calories
you.
of turkey into your body, and
How
it's
can you tell me?
Yeah, no, you're right, Dave.
it's
Yeah.
not.
I'm laying off the cranberry sauce this year, though. I'll tell you that much.
You could have instead of getting that delicious can of just cranberry sauce, you can make it on your own.
You're right.
I
don't
do
like it
think you're
enough to make it on my own.
overestimating the education, the discussion on this that people know.
I
I'll
I am
stand by
telling
it.
you-
I think a lot of people, of course, like if you're in a unfortunately more uneducated, more unhealthy population, like they probably don't know as much. But I think like the middle class is like people who are,
They're aware, but they don't really
Yes.
care as much.
Yes.
See, I don't think
exactly.
there's that many people in this office that know like the deal. I think you bring Tate in here.
he would have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
I've
You don't
actually
think
had
Tate
to.
would know?
I think
No.
he would know that like he would have like some generic
About what specifically?
about like this whole discussion. I think this would be a lot of new information for him.
So you think he would not know the level of corruption?
I think he wouldn't know the level of corruption. I think he would be like, "Oh, Diet
I
Coke
said
is-
that, I
Diet
don't-
Coke is fine." Like a Diet Coke is
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
think
disagree.
everyone knows that
I think
Diet Coke's
everyone
not
at this
fine.
office would have a good idea.
Yeah, you know that.
The only ones who wouldn't is like,
No one thinks Diet Coke is healthy. They just know
See,
it's better than
all right,
regular
all right. Here,
How did we get on this topic?
I'm saying that, like, yeah, people know that pop is
That's
bad for
healthy
you.
skin.
Doesn't matter if it's a diet version or the regular version is bad for you. But there's a billion other things that we consume that are just as bad as that. And that, like, nobody in the office is like, oh, man, I shouldn't eat this. It's as bad as a can of pop for me.
All right. Hopefully this got you all in the party and eating mood.
yeah. My last statement before we wrap up here, because we got to go do a draft, is I understand, but sometimes there is the energy of like drugs are bad. I'm the head of DARE, but it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go drink a 24 pack.
Yeah.
All right, like
Knowing is one thing. It's harder to even follow it.
yeah,
Correct.
exactly. All right, that's it. What a fucking end of the show.
We'll see. Next time we see you, you boys will have hair.
No, we won't.
No,
You boys will have no hair, actually.
Next, I think
I'm very excited for the ugly duckling phase. I'm mourning the end of my ball friend, White Sox Dave.
you guys,
End of an era.
I think it's gonna be.
We've never.
I'll put
really-
it at March 1st when you guys are like, holy shit, it's starting to take.
Oh,
4 months.
That's
right?
dangerous for you because you're gonna
I wonder
be
if like
peak
you'll
form in your
start
favorite time of
making
year.
more money now.
This is gonna have a butterfly.
Like,
Better
effect.
people, better looking.
That's
people
what I
make
mean.
Better money.
Yeah,
more money.
like, yeah.
Dave's gonna be on billboards on the 90.
Wait until I start doing like
Terminal 5 at
Wait till I start doing sit-ups again.
Back of a bus.
The next part of my health journey when I start lifting again.
Shit.
The only reason I don't have a weight room, like an actual weight set, is because I measured my second bedroom too. I didn't have enough space in it.
Damn, you're gonna be on the side of the merchandise mart at that rate.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We're gonna play a best of tomorrow. Have a great Thanksgiving, and yeah, we'll be back next week. See you then.